A very good evening to all our viewers. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Evening Review. My name is Taiwan Jabela, your host for tonight. Let's have a look at today's front page of Namibian Sun. Tonight on the show, we are joined by Henk Botha. He is the coach for athletes Christine Mboma and Beatrice Masilingi, who have been putting the country on the map with the help of this man. Coach, good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight on the show.
Good evening, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Tell us, just for starters, where you are talking to us from.
Yeah, we are currently here in a beautiful valley close to Siena in Italy. And tonight, Italy will also play Spain in the Euro semi-final cup. And you can just imagine the vibe and the wonderful spirit that's going on here in Italy.
Indeed. That's wonderful. I know that the Italians have been doing very well. As a matter of fact, people think that they have a very huge chance of winning the championship with Belgium and Germany out now. So Spain and Italy, many people expect them to win the championship. Of course, England also has an outside chance, according to people like myself. But let's talk about your athletes, Coach. Last week, something unprecedented happened. The International Athletics Governing Body, and I think World Athletics or so came out and said your athletes will not be competing in the 400-meter competitions anymore, especially in the Olympics, due to suspected high testosterone levels in both your athletes. That was devastating, and a lot of people here at home were shocked, but also very angry at the decision. First, tell us, Coach, how the girls are coping with that news. What is their mental state at the moment as a result of that?
Yeah, I must be honest with you. I don't think for any sports person or any person that have worked for something for years now and then suddenly they just close the door on you, it's good news. But these two 18-year-old girls are strong women, and they are women with courage, and that's why they are where they are. And I think they are taking the news, I wouldn't say good, but better than expected. And they are focusing on what they need to do with the 200, and then we will take it step by step. It is for me and for the team here a big shock to not be taking part of in Tokyo for the 400. But that if that is the ruling, we need to look at it and see how we can either change it or either then just do the 200. That is where we are currently at.
And Coach, was there any tests conducted and the results are out to confirm that indeed there are such high levels of testosterone in the two ladies? Or
yes, you see, I'm not a scientist, and nor do I know anything about the medicine. But it's fairly common for athletes to be tested, especially good athletes, to be tested on surprise tests like they did here. They came and they just test us at hotels. but usually that's just urine tests. So then we received emails saying they want to do a test on them as far as whether they are females, and we did that. And then where they requested the blood test, and we did the blood test, and the result returned with increased testosterone levels. So yes, that was done, and currently that is the result. But for me, it's just I don't think it's fair just to take the result. We need to just investigate and see why the result is like that, because we know it's natural, and we know they are female. So now we need to go and search why it is, and yes, it's also then for us to decide whether this is something that we agree with or not.
Indeed, thank you, Coach. And are you at liberty to tell us which body conducted the tests?
The body that requested the test was World Athletics, but we then arranged the first idea was to get back to Namibia to do the test locally, but unfortunately, due to the competitions and the schedules, there was not enough time, and there was a time frame to the test, and we had to then do the test here with doctors in Italy, which were very good and very helpful. So we haven't been under pressure with them, but it was doctors that we arranged through our organizing committee the other side.
And Coach, how did these new developments affect, or how are they affecting your general strategy going into Olympics? Of course, I mean, as a coach, there are aspects that you look at and you say, this is how we are going to win these races. In terms of preparations for the Olympics and your strategies, what impact does this development have on those?
Yeah, obviously the 400 and 200 is two different events. Although they are close to each other, there's a different preparation type of training that you need to do. You need more power, you need more endurance, and obviously than you need in the 200. So our training plan have to change, or had changed already drastically, only to suit the 200. But luckily for us, the two events is very close to each other. So the adaptation wasn't that difficult, and I'm now really. I don't think if this arrogant, but I believe that the girls with the right training now and only focusing on the 200, we can see times that even will shock the world. We must just work now for the 3 weeks that's left, and we'll have to work very hard on that, and hopefully we can make them a bit proud.
Indeed. Do you have other people in your technical team, Coach, that are helping you? I mean, I must admit I don't know much about athletics, but I know like in boxing and football that I follow quite closely, you have fitness coaches, you have doctors in the corners of especially in boxing and stuff like that, to sort of really form part of the technical team to help athletes. In your case, do you have other external persons apart from yourself that are sort of helping you with fine-tuning the ladies ahead of the Olympics?
Not really. We don't have really somebody. Whereas when we're back at school, I do have a support system where there's two gentlemen. One is Boxy Dubé, who sometimes will just assist him at the gym when I can't be there. Or Elvis is one of the other teachers who also assist the training sessions when it's not possible for me. But 95% it's me training them. And when we reached Italy, we were preparing together with the South African athletes, and one of the South African coaches, Henk Botha, also add advice and maybe give me some guidance on certain things that we can change and work on. But that's about it.
Yeah, then you are doing an incredible job, Coach, given the outcomes that we've seen in recent weeks. Tell us about Italy, where you are right now. It's far away from home. There are costs involved. Not too long ago, I think last week, one of your athletes was in Poland, another one was in Holland, just also the previous time. The traveling and the accommodation, who's taking care of all this? Are you getting assisted from somewhere, or you are basically carrying this burden on your shoulders?
Excuse me. No, we are very privileged and honored to have the backup of the NNOC, which which is part of the National Olympic Federations have a program that they call Solidarity, and the Solidarity program help athletes to prepare for Olympics. And that assisted us with most of the costs. The only cost that we need to pay for is just the normal needs, if you want a cool drink or maybe a souvenir or something like that. So we are very privileged and honored with a partnership like that.
Indeed. And Henk, also I just spoke previously of the competitions in which the two girls have been taking part in recent weeks, and they've been doing extremely well. I mean, every time they are running, the whole country converges in front of their TVs or internet devices to follow on the action. But it's been a day after the other. Every other day they are running. Is that how do you secure all these competitions that they are taking place in? Is it due to yourself as a coach and promoter looking out for your runners by keeping your ears on the ground, or is it part of the major how do I put it, preparation basically for the Olympics?
Yes, first of all, we planned the events fairly well to make sure that we don't overexpose the girls. And also you will see that we also try and not let them race against each other, because the athletes will tend then, or people tend then to say this is the better or the not better one. And we want to avoid that. So we want both girls to shine in their own person and in their own way. But we had to, fortunately, we had to get an agent involved. So agents are guys that arrange all these events, and also then athletes, as they get better and better, they are invited to events. Like, for instance, Diamond Leagues, where Beatrice was invited to. So we have an agent currently that we just signed before we came to Italy, and he was very, very helpful and involved in the arrangement of all these things. And he's part of the Newton agency in South Africa, and his name is Brad.
Indeed. We also know, Henk, that now with the ruling of last week, both Beatrice and Christine seem to be confined to the 200-meter contention. Does that mean that despite your effort to actually keep them apart, that they might have to share the track on that day at the Olympics, since they are running in the same distance, or is there still a possibility for them to run 200 meters separately?
Yes, obviously the Olympics will work in phases, so there will be a first round where athletes will have to qualify for the semi-finals, and then in the semi-finals, if I've got it right, I think there's 3 races or 4 races where athletes will run, and then obviously the final where the top 8 athletes will participate. So in that matter, it is possible that they can run until if they reach the final. They can run then only against each other, or they can even meet each other in a semi-final. That's up to the organizers. And the first rounds, hopefully they will not run it against each other, but we cannot say that at all, because the drawings will be done by the organizers themselves.
Yeah. Just how big an opportunity, Coach, is the Olympics for these ladies who have been doing an excellent job? As a window of opportunity, what can Olympics do to their profile going forward?
Yes, I think this is not only just a dream for any athlete to participate in the Olympics, but it's also a process where athletes can be identified and they can become they can have a career through their sport if they perform well enough at such a big level. The only thing that we must just understand that these girls are only 18, and there's really few athletes that will go to Olympics and medal at the age of 18. Unfortunately, I still believe that the possibility on the 400 was there that maybe one or both of them could have medaled there, but that's now not in existence anymore. So we must just support them and see that we can go as far as we can in the rounds, and they'll be at 2024 in Paris, and I can assure you these girls will be then mature and ready and fast enough to take on the world.
And speaking of that evolution, Coach, Paris and all other championships that will be coming after the Olympics, it means also that what you are trying to do here is to get these girls to be elite runners, high level, global level runners. In terms of their backgrounds also, I mean, this past weekend, Namibian Sun visited the village of Christine in particular, and her homestead also. We spoke to her parents, and they are talking about the difficulties that she had as a child. So eventually there's this hope at home that she will become this big star globally. Is that something that you're also trying to help them with, to say, yes, run and win, but eventually you want some commercial windfalls for your runners?
Yes, yes. Obviously, you must understand that from day one, when I started to work with the girls, it was, I said to them, you must never forget your roots. You must never forget who you are and what you are. And you can never be ashamed of what you are. The thing is, you can just change your life and you can make this a beautiful story. And I think this is the beginning of a beautiful story. And I can assure you, these girls are so down to earth. And somebody said the other day to me, did you ever thought in your life you'll be so popular? And I said, you know, we are just the three people from Grootfontein, and that's the way the girls are still. And she will definitely, after we had the discussions, we had a lot of in-depth things that I don't want to put out there to the public. But both of the girls, they want to look after their family, and they want to make sure they will have a better life. And that is the main reason they're doing this. These are girls that don't dream of stardom. They only dream of a different life for them and their families. And that's that they're busy.
Thank you, Coach. I have lost you a little bit there, but I hope
Okay,
I hope you are back now.
I'm back, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Just as we draw towards the conclusion, Coach Henk, what can you tell us about yourself? I mean, the passion with which you are coaching these girls, and where you have brought them so far in the journey that they started not too long ago. It's amazing. I'm curious, as a follower of your program, just who is Henk Botha in the context of athletics?
I've been privileged and honored enough to be a fairly okay athlete and a rugby player. I have represented Namibia as a rugby player, and I was also the captain of the team. But maybe I'll share something with you that this will be the first I've shared this on media. I have really a big love for children, but I have a son and a daughter which I love dearly. My son is in China, my daughter is studying in the USA. But my son was in a very severe accident in Africa while he was studying in South Africa when I was still busy coaching the under-19 rugby team in Uganda. I had to come back with the emergency flight to see my son, and the doctors told me that there's no chance for him, and he'll most probably not survive it. It's just machines keeping him. So I prayed and I said, I will devote my life to young people and try to help young people and change their lives. And my son is currently in China, and he's a teacher there, and he's doing very well. And therefore, I would do anything just to help young people, and that's my main purpose for living, and that's why I'm here on earth.
Thank you very much, Coach, particularly for your son, who has emerged out of such a cruel situation to be where he is today, teaching in China. Hopefully, we will have him teach home, not in a long future, because there's always this thing of skills being exported rather. But of course, we hope the young man will come back to Namibia one day and teach us. But on the last note, Coach, I wanted to thank you particularly for your dedication, not only with the girls, but the fact that you are very approachable to the media. You always take those short video clips of your athletes after they have completed the race. You ask them how they feel and how was the race, and the media uploads it on their platforms for the greater public to zoom into what is happening there. That is really, really a beautiful thing that I wanted to commend you for, Coach, and keep up the good work, and just all the best ahead of the Olympics.
Thank you so much, and we cannot say enough for the support from the media and from the Namibian people. There's one thing, I'm a son of the Namibian soil, and our anthem starts with Land of the Brave, and we can see we are brave. We are standing together in these difficult times with COVID, and the people are, everybody behind these two girls, from the old Boereoomie in Keetmanshoop to the biggest supporter in Windhoek. So we are so blessed, and we can just say thank you, thank you, thank you, and all our praise to those of you that have lost or have sick members due to COVID.
Thank you very much, Coach. Again, all the best.